Welcome to Moose on the Loose. My name's David. In today's top stories, we've got Justin Trudeau, who apparently doesn't know how to use ski goggles. This is coming from a guy who's apparently an expert skier. We've got numerous other stories here. We got Sean Fraser with another pathetic housing accelerator. We've got a recycling story. We got a bunch of stories. Let's get into it. So first off here, Sean Fraser has signed deals in 4 communities in New Brunswick that will help fast track the construction of over 250 homes in the next 3 years, and more than 2,200 homes in the next 10 years, guys. This is so stupid. Like, what is going on here? Do they not understand these numbers? Just so everyone knows, 5,000 Canadians are coming in every single day. 5,000. That's how many new immigrants and foreign students and all this that they're letting in. 5,000. I've said it a million times. They know the math. They know they're trying to destroy our country. They know what's going on. You can't bring in 5,000 people and then promise 2,200 homes in 10 years. Yeah, granted, this is one section of the country, but still, it's like, it doesn't add up. The math doesn't math. Next up, we've got more Palestine protesters. They are increasingly getting more and more aggressive and angry. I think at some point, there's going to be some mandate from the government to the police to crack down on this. I don't know. It's just, you can see how angry this lady is.
You should be enraged! You should be enraged! You should be enraged at the genocide that is going on!
You better calm down, young lady. You were calm before. You need to chill. Yeah, you need to chill.
I don't need to chill!
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't! There's nothing chill about it. What's going on right now? Why don't you tell us, get out of there! Get out of there!
Whoa.
You should be enraged!
Yeah, so that is no longer for peace. That is definitely anger and hatred. There was an interesting comment I saw on this post. The guy basically said, these are often people who latch on to events to kind of get hyped up with them because they're going through much suffering themselves. I don't know if this woman is she a Palestinian or is she just joining the cause? I don't know, but that's too much. That's too much. We get it. That whole what's going on over there is terrible. Once again, I said in the last video, we're on the other side of the planet. It's difficult when you have a country such as Canada that just doesn't, we're not one of the top countries. We don't have the military might. We're not the US that can go change anything on a dime with their military might. And China as well. They've got tons of people, tons of power, tons of money. They have infrastructure ability like nothing else. They can build whatever. Like, these are the countries that can change things. And like even China, they're doing their Silk Road thing, trying to take advantage of like the super poor Africans to build their stuff now, just as like the Americans basically took advantage of cheap Chinese labor in the 90s and whatever. So yelling at Canadians does not solve this issue. I don't know what their solution is, but it's not raging in Canadian streets. I try to think about it from their perspective. If this was happening here, I would probably be just as enraged. It's just, for me to go over to Vietnam and start banging drums and being enraged on the streets, I'm sure the people of Vietnam would be like, why are you doing that here? So, I don't know, it's a tough one. It's a really tough one. But this lady needs to chill. Next up, we've got a clip here that was taken in Toronto. This is coming off of Rebel News. So, is recycling a scam? We witnessed the city of Toronto dump recycling and garbage into the same pile. We saw this happen at multiple receptacles. So you can see they pulled out the different bins. It's kind of weird that they're all the same color because where I live, these are all different colors when they do this stuff. But there's always a green, a blue, and a black one. But anyways, you can see litter. I can't say. One of them's recycling, one of them's compost, I think. Can't read that third one. Maybe it's glass? So that's the litter. That's the first one.
Did you see that, folks? The litter and the recycling went into the same pickup truck bed.
So well, there you go. You got recycling and litter in the same truck. So what does that mean? I don't know. So from making educational videos, which I used to do on my other channel, it was deleted. A lot of garbage is packed up into these, they're crushed into cubes. and then they're put on big ships, and they're shipped over to China. And China would then break them apart. They would take all the metal out. They would, electronics and stuff, and they would, because that's actually worth money. Unfortunately, when the poor labor who would do that, they would often get cancer doing that because of the nature of taking that stuff and using chemicals to do it, taking that apart. With whatever they had left, they would burn it. And China put in a rule, I can't remember, it's got to be back maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago or something, where they put in a law where China would not be taking anyone's garbage anymore. So then all this garbage got shipped over to Malaysia. So if you look up Malaysia, they now have huge garbage heaps, and they just piling up and burning them and whatever. So I don't really know what the state of recycling is. What I've heard right from the recycling places, you drop off your glass, but the glass just gets crushed up and thrown out. Like, it's not actually recycled. But some of the stuff some of the plastics are recycled from what I can tell. Some areas recycle and some areas don't. So it seems there's some sort of, like, at least where I live in BC here, they'll recycle everything depending on which town and city you're in, but not necessarily everything actually gets recycled. I don't know. Feel free to comment down below, because it seems like a big cluster trying to figure it out. I thought at one point it would be a great business idea to start up a facility that actually recycles stuff, because right now the government pays these countries to take their garbage away. So if you did it locally and then turn that into some sort of product, you could make a good business out of that. Unfortunately, I don't have a couple $1 million to, well, now buy land, and also another couple $1 million to set up a facility to do that. But next up, we've got the most hated man in Canada, Justin Trudeau, wearing the Liberal red, snowboarding in Thunder Bay. And it's kind of weird because he doesn't seem to know how ski goggles work. Like, he really seems like this is his first time using them, despite him being some sort of ski expert who used to go skiing all the time with a special rapporteur. Remember that guy that helped cover up some of his scandals, his corruption? David Johnston. Remember this guy, special rapporteur? No, he's totally independent. It wasn't like he was the next door neighbor to the Trudeaus, the ski buddy friends. Corrupt. So there he is in red, and he can't get his goggles on. Still can't get his goggles on. Still can't get...
Like, you're supposed to, your pain, which I totally agree with.
What the heck? Okay, I just need to stop this for a second. So I don't understand how you could, like, he obviously knows how much everyone hates this man's guts. Like, he sees it every day. Every single restaurant he goes to, he's getting heckled. He's getting heckled by Canadians. He's getting heckled by the truckers, the Freedom Crew, the Palestinians, you name it. Any sort of religious groups, whatever. Every group is heckling this man. He is the most hated man in this country. He thinks it's safe to stop with his back exposed upwards a ski mountain. Like, I get it's a different situation in the States. They've got a history of, sometimes things happen to the presidents down there because people don't like him. We don't have a culture up here. But you gotta think, man, like, does this guy not think for a second that maybe there's a snowboarder above him, saw it was him, pissed off, and decides to come flying down the mountain full speed? And it's like, oh, I lost an edge, boom, right into his back. Like, does he not have half a brain? All it takes is one enraged Canadian to smash into you from behind. You'd be paralyzed, man. Like, he's an idiot on all levels. He is truly an idiot on all levels. So he's still trying to figure out these goggles, and it's like, look how close this guy can get to the Prime Minister. I'm sure, like, this guy here's got he's packing heat, and, like, some of these guys are his personal SWAT team or whatever, but it's like, you're literally within 5 feet, and you could have just full-blown done a Goldberg. Goldberg
looking to end this early. Goldberg again with a spear.
This is blowing my mind.
خلاص زياد
Thank you. I called for a ceasefire as of December, and I'll keep calling for a ceasefire. Please do that. I will.
He still hasn't got his goggles on. Next up, I've got this clip here. This is from America, but I want to show how woke things are getting down there as well. So what we've got here is a firefighter who parked his truck at an angle, which he says in here, to protect the firefighters. They're trying to resuscitate someone from a car accident, and the cop comes and arrests him because he's 1 millimeter too far into the road. That's the state of things, even in America.
He's arrested me Chula Vista firefighter Jacob Gregoire calls for his supervisor. Only CBS News 8 has this heated exchange between the veteran firefighter and an unnamed CHP officer about the safety of where the fire truck is parked during a rollover accident.
That's ridiculous.
CHP has guidelines to safely clear the road, but you see, it's up for debate who was in the wrong legally. Firefighters say they park at an angle to protect emergency crews, patients, and drivers.
We're in the middle of patient care with patients on the freeway. They're putting them in handcuffs at this time and walking them away.
Hey, I just want to...
That officer needs to be thrown in jail. That's ridiculous. Finally, we've got a woman here who was thrown out of a council meeting because she had concerns over a gender-neutral rec facility. This is exactly what you're thinking. This is exactly what you're thinking.
Recently become aware of the council's proposal to build a new multiplex recreation center. At issue is the council's plan that is laid out in the MJMA architectural drawings to have open universal bathrooms, change rooms, and showers. Now, I ask if any of the councillors provide a guarantee to ensure our children will be safe in any of these areas. Having these open areas whereby, for example, a young child or a young female can be changing, using the washroom or showering with men who very well could be naked or choose not to cover themselves, would not be a safe environment for them. Or what about women who, too, choose to be uncovered while changing or showering, and that's their choice, and there are young males present? What type of situational setup are you proposing? An explanation was forwarded to me to justify that these universal open areas are safe was the inclusion of cubicles, which were termed, some of them, grooming cubicles. Yes, this is the term I found on the MJM architectural blueprints. And I invite you to Google the word grooming and see what definition comes up first. My understanding is that these grooming cubicles have high walls, showers, and doors, and they can be locked for privacy. What if those same grooming cubicles allow the opportunistic individual to have contact with a vulnerable young child? Let us not be naive. Our children are exposed to people who do not have their best interests in mind. And now you offer the universal open area for males, females, and children to change and shower together. Part of the process of grooming children is establishing a connection, isolating a child, testing boundaries of all which counselors you're providing opportunities.
Stop now.
Okay.
Because you're going in a direction that is not allowed here, and I ask you to be respectful.
All right, I will redirect.
We just need to breathe.
Council held public consent.
I'm not talking to you. We just need to breathe deeply.
Yep.
And I know you're passionate about what you say, but we need to keep it.
I'm just explaining the process, which you're offering opportunities.
That has nothing to do with this facility.
Absolutely, it does. We're talking about safeness.
I'm going to ask you to sit down now. You're finished. Thank you.
But I just want to.
You're finished.
If
you're finished. Thank you.
That's unbelievable. We can't even talk about this stuff now, like what would be a safer option, or what, maybe there's some problems here. No, you're just finished. That's it. The only way I can see that working is if you have like a front desk counter that's like a circular thing in the middle, and then there's individual changing rooms all around that in one big room with the front desk in the center, and all the showers are contained in each of those rooms, and then that just directly goes out to a pool. But how the layout sounds, it does not sound like that at all. This is crazy. This country has become absolutely just nuts.
You should be enraged! You should be enraged!
Yeah, so let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about Justin Trudeau skiing out in the open. It's look like he's got one or two security guys with him. His back facing up the mountain. He's going around laissez-faire like what this tells me is he doesn't understand the hatred and anger that he has caused. He doesn't understand the suffering that he has caused in this country. He doesn't understand the feeling of just my own life. I got my YouTube channels. Many of you already know, I've mentioned multiple times. My YouTube channel was deleted 5 months ago, because it was hacked by a hacker. From losing my income going into the coldest months where it's the most cost, plus all the carbon tax, it was unbearable. And how I got through the winter was discount produce and food from a couple different stores. And one of the main ones was Walmart. I'm not sure if this is nationwide, but in the Walmart in the town I live here in Port Alberni, they sell old produce. They put it into bags. They're like $1 or $2. It's usually bananas going to $1 bag, and the apples and plums and whatever going to $2 bags. And that's a good deal. Often you got a couple bad bananas or a couple bad apples, but it's still fine. But what they recently did is they started putting them 50% of the marked normal price. I'm quite upset that they've done this now, because now they're charging $4.50, and some of the apples are kind of rotten, and it's like, dude, like that's low. Like this big corporation is just trying to squeeze an extra few bucks off of people that are hurting. I'm not telling you guys to do anything because I can't, but I can go here and write a review, and I can give them a 1 star. I am disappointed that you removed the $2 expired produce bags and are now charging over double for that same expired produce. That is my review. It would be a shame if they got 1,000 of those reviews today. And that's just it. People are having to go to the absolute extremes, and Justin Trudeau doesn't realize this. I bet Justin Trudeau's never even stepped foot inside of a food bank or even understands how any of that works. I bet the man would walk in there and ask for a filet mignon. For him to be so naive and stupid to think he can just go snowboarding around and potentially not have someone hit him with a Goldberg tackle is kind of bonkers to me. But share your thoughts about that down below if you think, as I do, it's crazy how little security he has, really. Thanks for watching to the end of the video here. I greatly appreciate all you. Stay warm, stay fed. I'll see you guys in the next one.